To obtain the solution of this quadratic equality, we proceed as follows. So we have that minus 3x squared plus 12 is greater or equals to 0. And if we should then subtract 12 from both sides of this inequality, we have that minus 3x squared will be greater or equals to minus 12. And if we should then divide both sides of this inequality using the coefficient of x squared, which is minus 3, we are going to obtain that our x squared is less or equals to 4. Remember that if I should divide both sides of a given inequality using a negative value, the inequality symbol will reverse. That is why greater than or equals to here have reversed to less than or equals to. And if we should then take square root of both sides of this inequality, we then have that our x is less or equals to plus or minus the square root of 4, which is exactly plus or minus 2. So plus or minus 2 becomes the root of this quadratic expression, and if we should then place this root in a number line, here is infinity and here is negative infinity, and here is our negative 2 and here is our positive 2. Here's our positive 2. So this root have partitioned this number line into 3 intervals, and if we should consider any value from this first interval, say minus 3, and if we should replace this s here with minus 3, we will discover that this expression will be less than 0, and so this interval does not satisfy this given inequality. And if you should pick any value from this interval, minus 2 to 2, say 0, then if you should replace this s here with the values, we find out that here we satisfy this inequality. So this interval satisfies this inequality. Similarly, any value we pick from this interval 2 to infinity, say 3, will also fail to satisfy this inequality, because we are going to obtain minus 27 plus 12 if we should pick the value 3. And so this interval still fails to satisfy the given inequality. So the only interval that satisfies this inequality, or the only values of x that will satisfy this inequality, is only if x is on this interval minus 2 to 2. And so this becomes the solution of this given quadratic inequality.